Alright guys, Dwayne Lulu here with Spots and Dots. So, make a lot of fishing videos, but today we're not fishing. Today we're working on my son's 2006 Ford Ranger again. Today we're going to be replacing the radiator. So, if you like this video, subscribe to Spots and Dots. If you like fishing videos, subscribe because you like my fishing videos. Anyways, if you like this one, give it a thumbs up, share it. So, we're replacing the radiator, and we're going to jump right into it, guys. Alright, so here's the new radiator. So one of the best ways to look at it is take your new radiator and place it like the same way it's going to be going into the truck. And you can look at it and find out where all your bolts are going to need to be undone. One right here, here. You see this is a slot. There's something, you know, this is your fan shroud's going to slide over that. Same thing on the other side. Anyways, you know, just take a good look at your new radiator and you'll see where everything goes. Now I'm gonna refer to this truck as the front of the truck is facing forward, and everything on the right side is on the right, everything on the left side is on the left. Even if I'm turned around facing the truck, if I say the right side, I still mean the right side of the truck, as if you're facing forward. Just want to make that clear. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is drain it. So this drain is at the very bottom right hand side of the radiator. Alright, the one on the new one is a little bit different as far as what the drain looks like, with the how to loosen it. Alright, this one's a little bit different. So anyways, I'm just going to take a pair of channel locks, get in here, untighten it. When it backs off, it's going to let that radiator fluid inside of it drain out of this weep hole. Alright guys, so I was editing my video, and while I was editing it, I noticed that some of this I was doing, it was taking pictures and not shooting video. So I'm just going to go over a couple of steps that I did before I got to the air intake, which is right here. So I kind of skipped over a couple of things because there were photos, and it goes showing me disconnecting this air intake. So the steps I did before that, I'm gonna go over that right quick. Alright, so what I did was I went ahead and I loosened up that nut there to drain it. I couldn't quite use my channel locks. I had to use a 19mm socket on a ratchet wrench. I opened it up and I drained it. Then I came over and I took the cap off of my radiator. This radiator's hot right now because I ran the truck, so I'm not going to open it, but I took the cap off so to drain quicker. Made sure I had my bucket underneath there, and I let it all drain. After I let it all drain, I come over and I started disconnecting my fan shroud. Alright, so there's a bolt right here, 10mm. Alright, one bolt right there. It's on the left side. I came over here, and this is where we catch back up with the video. There's a bolt right there, 10mm. And before I undid that one, I took off my air intake, and that should catch you up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take my air intake hose off. So there's two little bolts right here on hose clamps. They're 8mm. There's the other one. Can't miss it. We'll go ahead and take that off. That's the only two. Take them off and move it out the way. Make it just a little easier. Alright, so there it is. I just folded it over. There's a wire harness that's connected to it right here. It's just to keep this wire from getting caught up over here on the alternator. But anyways, it's connected to it down here. I didn't disconnect it. And there's a hose right here, and it just, as you can see back there, I just flexed it over, and it'll stay up there and out of your way. So I'm going to go ahead and get to this next bolt right here on the right side of the radiator. We'll get that one loose and out of the way. Alright, so we've got this one loose. Again, it's 10mm. Get it out. We'll go ahead, put it in my new one. Yeah, I know where it's at. Alright, so those are out of the way. Alright, so now what I did, all I did was just pick up on this fan shroud, picked up on it, and I'm just gonna set it back over here on kind of on top of the fan, out of the way. All right, there's no bolts on the bottom of it. It just fits into these grooves. Here's the new one. It's easier to show you, but there's a groove there, and there's the same groove on the other side. The bottom of the fan shroud just slides in there. So it slides in there, and there's that bolt and that bolt. And your fan shroud is loose, and you just get it out the way. Alright, so next I'm going to undo these two lines from the radiator. You got one right here and one below it. You can see it down there. Alright. 5/8 open end wrench. Unscrew them. Just kind of keep them out the way. I believe it's going to be, I think that's transmission lines. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I just can do my own work pretty good. All I know is they're on there and they need to come off to put the new one in. So if you want to comment and let me know what exactly these lines are. Could be brake cool lines. I don't know. But anyways, they're on there and they need to come off. Now I had to let that airplane pass. So you're going to unscrew it a little bit. Give it a little bit of a tug. It takes a little bit to come out of there. So get that out and out of the way. And we'll move on to the next one down there. Alright, got that second line off of there, out of the way. Same way. It's kind of a pain to get to, but once you unscrew it a few turns with your wrench, you can do it with your fingers, and you're going to need to give it a little tug just to pull it out. So next we're going to undo your first radiator hose. This is on the right side of the radiator, and it's at the top. So got me a pair of channel locks. I'm going to pinch that clamp and pull it back, and we'll pull that hose off. Give y'all a little quick tip. See how that thing's in there? It's a pain in the butt to get to. It's hard to get your tool in here like it is. So when you put it back on, put that clamp facing up here. If you ever got to do this job again, it's going to be a lot easier to pinch that clamp. Alright, so I'm still working on trying to get this thing off of here. Alright, so got it pinched. Got that hose off. The next hose is on the left side at the bottom. And we're going to get to it from underneath the truck, okay? But it's way down there at the bottom. That's the next hose. Alright, so here it is right here. Just going to take my channel locks, pinch that clamp, pull it off. Make sure you got you something to catch the radiator fluid coming out of there, because there's going to probably be some come out of it. Alright, so got it off of there, and as I said, had some fluid come out of there. Got it on my hands. I'm going to have to go wash my hands. So just make sure you get something underneath there to catch it, guys. Alright, so now all I'm got left is a top left bolt right there, and the top right bolt. It's over there. We'll get a better view of it when we get over there, but we'll get them off there, and this radiator should come out. Well, I'll take that back. One more thing you got to do is take this hose off right here. Little hose. You want to take that off. Get it out the way. And that goes over to your coolant little box over here. Right there. But anyways, it just slides through right there. Just get it out the way. Alright, so we got this loose. It's 10mm also, just like the other ones. Take it out. I'm going to go over here and put it in the new spot. Can't bolt it down yet. There's nothing to bolt. I'm just putting it there just so I know. And we'll go over here and get this other one. Alright, so I'm over on the right side. There's the next bolt right there. Again, 10mm. We'll take it out and go set it over there on the other one. Alright, here we go. Got it loose. We'll get it out. Go set it over here. Keep track of everything. Okey-doke. That should be it. You got these brackets on both sides, but they just sit on like little pedestals down in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me get a flashlight and I'll show you. Alright, let's see if I can. There they are right there. It's like a little pedestal down there that those brackets sit on. No bolts on them or anything. They're just kind of sitting on top of that. So, alright, so she's ready to come out. Gonna have to give it a little push towards the back of the truck, give it a little push back, and then pull up on it, and that'll slide it out. Alright guys? Alright, that's what it looks like without the radiator in there. Got it out. When you do pull it out, make sure all your hoses and everything are kind of out of the way. You don't want to bend anything and break it. Alright, so there's the old one. There's the new one, like I told you. So that's how we unscrewed it. This one is like a wing nut. So you can just get down there with your hand. It should be tight, but make sure you check it before you do put fluid in it. So make sure that's tight. So we'll go ahead and drop this one in there. One more thing I forgot to mention, there's a flap. Just a little flap, so it's just kind of in there with little, I don't even know how you say it's in there, but you just kind of press them out. You put this up flap on your new one, unless your new one comes with one, because my new one didn't come with one. So I'm going to take that flap off and put it on here. And it just protects against this rail right here. This rail, that's what that flap protects from the radiator. Alright, so I got that flap off. What I did when it was on there, the tips of these things, I just give them a little squeeze with some needle nose pliers, and I did the best to push them through, and at the same time I was pulling from the opposite side. So that's the way I got them off. Anyway, that's what they are, these them little tabs. So if you ruin them, you can probably go to the parts store and get you some more of them. I think I'm gonna try to reuse these though, put them on the new one. Alright, so we dropped it in there, got it lined up. I gotta tell you, I believe this truck was wrecked in the past, because it doesn't line up just right down there like it should. So anyways, I got it in there as best as I can. Got everything lined up. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it back together. Alright, so as I said, I do believe this thing was wrecked at one time. This new one doesn't fit in there just right. The old one really didn't fit in there just right. But anyways, I got in there best I could. Got my first bolt on there. That was on the radiator, not the fan shroud, but the radiator bolt on the left side. And I got the one on the right side. Now I didn't tighten them down. I'm going to leave them a little bit loose just in case I need to wiggle some things around a little bit while I start putting other stuff back together. So next I'm going to go ahead and put my hoses back on. My bottom left hose down there, and I'm gonna come over there and put my top right hose on. So let's get under the truck. Alright, got that first hose back on, that first clamp on. Remember what I said, next time try to leave your clamps to where you can get a good bite on them next time. Like this one was up here and it was kind of hard to get to, so I moved it a little bit. So if I ever got to do this again, it's gonna be a lot easier to get to and get out the way. So that one's on, we'll go to the next one. Alright, so here's the next one. Got it on, got the clamp in, got the clamp where I can get to it easy next time. Alright, so this is on the top right hand side of the radiator. We got that one on. Next, I'm going to put them transmission lines back on there and screw them in. I'm going to do the bottom one first. I'm going to do the top one. Alright, so I got that bottom line on there. It was a bit of a booger to get on there. Had to pull on that hose a little bit to get that thing to line up just right with the hole that it was going in. And I got it in there finger tight. So I got it in there finger tight as far as I could. I'm going to go ahead and put this top one in finger tight as far as I can. Then I'm going to tighten them down with the wrench. Alright, got them tightened down with the wrench there. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. My radiator bolts. Go ahead and tighten them down since I got everything lined up the way I want it lined up now. I'm going to get that one over there. This one right here. Tighten them down with the wrench. Or the socket. And ratchet. Alright. Got them tightened down. Got that one tightened down. Got that one tightened down. Now I'm going to put my fan shroud back on. Already slid it into place. Remember, it's got two bolts at the top of it on each side, and it slides into those little slots that are on the radiator. So make sure you slide the bottom of the fan shroud into those slots, and then just put your bolts in on each side and tighten them down. Alright, so we got them tightened down. Tighten down that one. Tighten down the one over there. Give the fan a little spin. Make sure nothing's rubbing or hitting. Give it just a little tug. Make sure it's in there good. Everything looks good. Run my hose back. Got it back on there. Alright. And we're going to put that back on there. Fill it up with radiator fluid. Alright, air intake back on. Tighten it back down. Good and snug. Fill this bad boy up. Make sure, hopefully it don't have any leaks. Alright guys, we're all done. So hey, appreciate you watching. Like I said, if you liked it, give me a subscription. If not, I don't know, sorry. So for now, Spots and Dots is out.